BBOR, Black Box Online Radio, September 27th, 2017. Colin Kaepernick really created a monster with his whole NFL protest. This really began with him sitting on the bench during the national anthem in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, sort of in protest until we can control the epidemic of racial brutality that's going on between police officers against the African American community in America. His words, or his belief platform, rather. This turned into taking a knee on the field instead. He was encouraged by someone else to alter the course of his protest, and then it spread like wildfire. Perhaps you've noticed that not only has the entire news feed from any sort of professional news source, any sort of mainstream media source, any sort of alternative media is taking wind of this and promoting this to no end. Social media has also blown up with this very, very annoying protest. And it is annoying in the sense because this is something such as football, the NFL, the thing we used to do for fun on Sundays, the thing that we used to look forward to on Monday nights, the only good thing about Mondays. Monday night football, of course. A lot of people hate Thursday night football. Personally, I love it. And now it's all been entrenched in this sort of protest without a meaning. Sensationalism, wildfire, has all just taken this thing away. And when I say it has no meaning, it's very obvious because it started as a Black Lives Matter protest, but now the entire debate has been completely drifted away and has now become centered on the American flag. Are people being disrespectful to the flag or not? Which was not his intention at all. That was not the motivation behind any of this, to talk about whether or not people should be allowed to support the flag if they want. It was about Black Lives Matter. Therefore, the protest is a failure. The heart and soul of the message that was trying to be transmitted did not make it there. Communication error. And it is very difficult to try and keep showing any interest or any sympathy to something of this nature because football is a game. Football is a sport. Football is entertainment for many, and it's also a great way to bring people together. Sunday afternoons and Monday nights, and just supporting your team and showing loyalty and just having a good time watching the games. And it used to be something that is just so wonderful, and now it's turned into something that is just turned into a giant political platform. And yes, it is true. People do have their First Amendment rights. People do have the right to protest or the right to make comments that they choose. And this also applies to professional athletes. And it's not that they don't have the right to. It's not that Colin Kaepernick did not have the right to make a protest. The point is, his protest failed. Where is the massive amount of change that he wanted? Where is the any change at all other than the fact that our social media feeds are completely overloaded with people talking about the American flag and is it right to kneel during the national anthem or to not say the Pledge of Allegiance? We have that kind of debate going on in America right now. But is that what anyone wanted? Is that what anyone in America wanted when these things were starting off? The answer is most likely no. And we really need to think about this more when we're trying to use the First Amendment to protest. What is the objective that is meant to be accomplished? What is this person trying to do? Not only is this person saying something, but how far will this go? And furthermore, will the protest be watered down so much to the point that it will lose complete meaning? Therefore, we have to say that Kaepernick's protest was a failure. It did not get the change he wanted. It did not get the recognition that he wanted, and it caused an enormous uproar for not only him, but also all throughout the NFL and throughout various other sporting agencies, not even to mention the President of the United States taking personal action just to ramble on in all different directions. No one is talking about the epidemic of racial brutality against the African American community, but that's a completely separate issue because that's a very multifaceted issue. A lot of people have a lot of conflicting views on how should we even want the Black Lives Matter movement to begin with. And people have the right to make their, not only their opinions and not only their commentary, but also an argument like about for Black Lives Matter. A lot of people have a lot of things to say, and they have a case that they can argue in many different directions. The fact of the matter is, this protest turned into nothing but a media firestorm. This turned into something that was blown out of proportion and just blown up into the sense of clickbait. It's just eye-catching material that is meant to grab your attention and just go on and on and on until this 15 minutes of fame is over, and then they can find a new form of clickbait to promote instead. No matter what, it is a real shame that his protest failed miserably for the sole sake of pity. Not to say that anyone would have to agree with him in any particular direction, but it failed nonetheless. No message was transmitted, nothing was communicated, it was all lost in the crossfire.